You're making fun of it.
I'm not making fun of anything. I'm just calling to reality.
I'm going to make fun of your LTLs then.
What are LTLs?
Low testosterone levels.
Whoa.
And that's what men suffer from.
I don't suffer from
their
low testosterone
libido
level.
goes down, and it's like a man period. Did you know that men have man periods?
What's a man period?
Hey everybody, you're listening to God Spice with Greg and Kirti.
All right. So, how are you feeling from last night?
I'm tired.
Funny thing is, we didn't even drink.
No, we didn't.
We had a late dinner.
We did.
And I'm a little
late for us.
Very late for us. That is like midnight for me.
Yeah, that was a late dinner for us because we normally eat significantly earlier. What time did we eat last night? I forget.
9:30.
Yeah, that's late.
It was really late.
That's late for us.
And
Kirti has us on the blue light special eating time
I'm on
frame.
the extra senior citizen lunch express.
Yeah, she's all about, let's eat dinner at 3:30, maybe 4:30 in the afternoon.
It makes me feel better the next day.
Well, wasn't that
and
Chris,
going to bed.
Yeah, wasn't it Chris Martin from Coldplay that now he was introduced to eating early and he eats early and loves it?
A lot of people do that actually look good.
Yeah, it's nice because you go to bed kind of feeling lean, you wake up feeling lean.
Yeah.
It's nice. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I'm like, why do I have this element of feeling hungover when I shouldn't be hungover?
Because we're tired from a long week.
Is that the excuse?
I think so.
Or it's not getting old?
I don't know. Is it getting old? But as you get older, don't you need less sleep?
You were always in denial.
I'm in denial. What are you talking about?
You're the in denial
That's the first
machine.
stage. That's the first stage, denial.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is we do go to bed. We try to go to bed early, but the problem is last evening we didn't go to bed till after.
Well, when you eat dinner that late,
2 a.m.
it's like my stomach is too full to fall asleep. So I ended up watching really bad old comedy movies.
We
with
did
you.
watch a pretty bad old comedy
It was
movie. But beforehand, we
terrible.
watched, X-Men Part 2?
What was that called again? Something 43?
Oh, yeah, Movie 43.
Movie
We couldn't even get
43.
through it. Yeah, we couldn't even get through it.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, it was...
Unless you wanna
It's pretty... It
barf.
has funny parts, but it's kind of gross.
It's so
It's
gross.
potty humor. Yeah.
It's disgusting humor.
Yeah. Who directed it? Is that like a Ferrelli movie or
I
something?
have no
Or-
idea.
I don't know. I have
No idea.
But yeah, it just seemed like it would be.
But this idea of like hangovers, I feel like it was taboo if we talked about having a hangover like 10, maybe 20 years ago because you didn't
Was it
wanna-
taboo?
Well, because, at least for, I think, a girl, it's a little taboo because you don't want to sound like you were like lushing out the night before and you couldn't
see that.
handle your
Yeah.
alcohol and now the next morning you're like dying from it.
Dying
and so
from,
it means
yeah.
you can't party hard and
Oh.
work hard. Like it's a little weak. It's a sign of weakness.
Yes. It's just another strike against women, I guess.
And men too.
And well, I guess so, but
I totally am judging a man who's
What?
like, I'm hungover and he can't
I'm
function.
tired, yeah.
It's like, pop the Advil, drink
Yeah.
some water, and move
And if
on.
you can't take an Advil like me because I'm allergic, then you just take some Excedrin.
Well, it doesn't work as good as an NSAID.
And then said, yeah.
Sorry.
Or ibuprofen.
You need the ibuprofen for the real effect.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I don't have hangovers. 'Cause
But-
I don't drink to have hangovers.
But like, I feel the last like year or two, this idea of like openly talking about like, oh my God, I was so hungover and this happened and that happened and I remedied it.
And everyone's
become, like-
cheersing.
Yeah. It's become like,
Did it start during the pandemic?
maybe.
Because all of a sudden we'd be speaking with friends
This
during
is
the
another
pandemic.
outcome of
and
the
they're like, oh, I'm
pandemic.
having a glass of wine. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm drinking. Even celebrities, they're having like their drinking parties, right?
Yes, the Zoom drinking
Yeah.
parties. These are the after effects.
Oh.
There's like many they call it long effects or whatever.
Oh,
of
long COVID?
Long COVID. Like the other long COVID effects are
Long boozing.
long boozing, I guess, and people now suddenly needing hangover drugs.
Yes, I've been hearing about this recently and with some friends as well. One of them being
Yes.
a doctor,
We were with
but a
my
radiologist, right?
I-
Or radiology.
I don't remember what she does, but she's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And we were with my sister and her husband. They're all doctors.
Yes.
And they were hangover medicating.
They were, well, if we had, thank God we weren't with them earlier in the day, because if we were drinking the way that they were drinking, I think by the time the night ended, the gentleman had, I think, over 15 espresso martinis.
I mean,
That is a lot.
that is
of espresso
strong
martini.
like bull.
Strong like bull.
Like I
It was such a fun time, though.
I
So
would,
it was a
I would
it was
die.
a good party.
I
Yeah.
would actually die.
I mean, the caffeine alone in that, too.
I can't even handle 3 rounds lately.
Well, if you think about an espresso martini, it's what, they used to call that, back in the day of the 70s when people do like heroin and cocaine. Was it a speedball with I don't know exactly what it was, but like John Belushi and all those guys used to do it because the heroin would bring you down and the cocaine brought you up.
Oh my God.
So is espresso martini the same concept because it's typically vodka, which is a depressant, and then the espresso kind of brings you up. So is it like this even-keeled drink that just kind of keeps you rolling?
I personally can't drink more than 1 or 2 of those maximum.
Yeah, and to me, it's more of a.
And it's sweet.
Well, yeah, it's a sweet. It's a dessert. It's a dessert cocktail.
Dessert.
I wouldn't even call it a digestif because it's definitely not a digestif. It's a dessert cocktail. Sambuca. Yeah, I've never actually been a fan of.
I love licorice. You don't like licorice?
I'm not a huge fan of licorice. Yeah, because sambuca, ouzo, all the same sort of thing.
You just don't like a lot of things of your people.
Well, what do you mean a lot of things of my people?
Your people.
I enjoy lemons.
No, you don't. You only like to squeeze them on a scallop. Otherwise,
or seafood. That's true.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna use? And water. Lemon and water is nice.
That's something you started drinking because of me.
No, I used to drink water with lemon in it years ago.
Stop making up shit again.
I'm not making up anything.
You are such a bullshit artist.
I was a personal trainer. I used to drink those types of drinks on a regular basis.
Personal training.
I was a personal trainer.
Yeah.
It worked perfectly in between school and work and everything like that. Yeah, I used to get up. I used to get up at 4:45 to go.
I need documentation.
I will show you all the paperwork. It's probably still at my parents' place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With all the nutrition books, because I used to put people on.
Oh my Lord!
Nutrition programs.
Hoarder of shit too. That's another thing.
No, I used to put
nutrition books.
Yes, I used to put people on nutrition plans.
God.
Used to
Your
measure.
smile is telling me there's a little element of bullshit in this.
No, there's really no bullshit. It's because the family makes fun of me about it.
Because I want to make fun of you about it.
No, we used to. It's BMR, right? Take a look at basal metabolic rate, and so based on the person body mass,
I'm going to stand there and tell you how many push-ups to do. I'm a personal trainer.
No, we used to actually design meal plans and train people.
You're not Caroline Gervin. Or
you can't even get her name right.
I don't know, but I love her and I like seeing her videos.
Yeah, she does have good videos. Yeah, if anyone, actually, which for those that do not have a lot of time to work out and say you don't have a gym membership and you're not going outside to run, we were introduced to Caroline. We call her Gervain, but is it Caroline Gervin?
I don't know.
We're not even quite sure.
I don't know. Pooja has to correct us.
Yeah, she corrects us all the time, and I think Padam does as well. But that's because she never says her name in the videos. But she has these videos that are anywhere from 15 minutes to hour long.
She's like the sexy leprechaun that gets you to work out.
Yeah, and it's great. You can just do these 15-minute full body or singular part exercises, and they're quite good.
Working out is a great way to address a hangover.
It is. You just sweat it right out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks about that as a remedy.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to these hangover pills.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, I don't know about you, but it might be because of my age and demographic on all the social platforms. Mm-hmm. I am targeted daily with different hangover cures.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you know how big the market is?
I have no idea how large that. I'm assuming it's quite big.
Guess how big this market is.
Well, that's what we're going to do. So we are in a city of 8 million people. How many people do you think this morning woke up with a hangover?
Oh, geez. Well, the thing is, I don't know how many, honestly.
I don't know either, because I was just going to apply that mathematics to it. I was going to make a calculated
more and
decision.
More people are also not drinking.
They're moving to Katy Perry's type
fad of the non-alcoholic, more adaptogens, natural
mushrooms
things that you can grind and put into something, whatever. That's
CBD,
which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I think I want to see more testing and science around it before I turn into something from The Last of Us.
So meanwhile, it's kind of interesting. More testing and science. Meanwhile, a new alcohol brand can come on to the market, and alcohol could be extremely dangerous and poisonous.
Well,
so where's the testing behind
each
one of those products?
But you didn't answer my question.
Because I was trying to figure out how many people.
You never answer a question.
I answer questions all the time. It's not my fault you go off on tangents.
You answered it with a question.
No, yes, because I was doing
hangover.
That's called discovery. I was doing discovery and a gap analysis. Okay.
Oh my Lord, Greg, just answer the question. Give me a guess. How large do you think the hangover market is in the U.S.?
Are we looking at it by demographic or just
Greg,
in general?
No, just answer the question.
Okay.
Market size.
Okay, 60%.
No, that's not answering the question in dollars, billions.
Oh.
Don't you know how to answer questions?
Yeah, I know how to answer questions.
Oh my God.
I thought you were asking about the percentage of people potentially taking it.
That
I don't
would
know.
be market penetration.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said market size.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to your actual question because sometimes when you speak, I don't always listen to every single word.
Oh, there we go again. Gregisms.
Greg is. God, if I listen to every
God,
single
I'm
word
gonna
you had
answer
to
this
say,
question because we'll never get it from
I would say
Greg.
market size. I think it has a potential to be $1 billion opportunity, and right now I think it's probably about 100 million.
It's $2 billion.
Wow,
It is.
I didn't think it took off that
$2
fast
billion,
already.
and it actually expected to reach by end of year like 2.3.
I still thought it was like sort of this unkept secret that
No.
people didn't really know about yet.
It was 2 billion in 2022, and it's gonna go up to like nearly 2.4 billion in 2023.
Wow. So now that's.
So it explains why we're being targeted with so many paid ads.
I guess so. Well, I'm not. Maybe you are.
They feel my pain.
I guess so. So if we take a look at that, 2 billion, and it's going up. The reason why I was curious about market size, because now that's either a market opportunity or it's an actual problem.
Well, that's a really good point. I was like,
And is
how
there a correlation?
How many people are destroying their liver on a daily basis?
Thank God it regenerates.
But there's a limit to its
There
regeneration.
is a limit, yes.
And it slows down as we get older. So how many people are needing this solution that the market size is in billions?
But my question for you, though, is this.
Like,
is there a correlation between that
my
and...
parents don't drink. Like,
don't,
your parents
yeah.
really didn't drink.
No.
Even your like sisters who are like top, like I would say in that older Gen X, baby boomer
Yeah.
era,
Yep.
they are not big drinkers either.
Yeah,
and
they're not.
either are a lot of your older cousins. So I'm like, okay, what generation is consuming this all? I really think it's the wild generation. Remember we were reading that New York Times article?
Oh, yes.
Of like there's this been huge surge of what is it 35 to 55 year olds
Yep.
who are really
They're saying Gen
indulging in
Xers.
binge
Yes.
drinking. They're doing drugs.
Hallucinogens.
They are going crazy.
Smoking weed.
And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense maybe of where's the spending power.
Yes.
It is in
It's
that
there.
generation.
But then also maybe that generation felt oppressed. And now that things are becoming more legalized and more normalized, that you're allowed to do things more in the public, they're like, screw it. We're at the age now where we can just do it.
maybe.
And we're going to do it.
But it's not good if they need regenerative like drugs to help them the next morning every time.
100%. But my question is, do you think that there's a correlation
I mean, I
between
kind of
the
want to
increase?
test these drugs out.
Yep. So you well, what's interesting about that? So do you think that there's a correlation though between alcohol abuse and the civil unrest in the country, just in general? Number one there. But then on the other hand, when you have different drug uses, mushrooms are used for cancer patients and other patients.
Yeah,
It helps
yeah.
for uplifting moods and things of that nature. Marijuana has been used medically for years
Forever.
as
cancer
well
patients,
for
yeah.
again for cancer and increased appetite and everything, decreased nausea, right? But I wonder if there's a correlation in just pure alcohol consumption and unrest.
Well, I have a thought on this. I think alcohol is certainly a poison that we're putting into our body.
It is a poison. It's classified as a poison.
And I think anything hurts your body if you overdo it, for sure. But not to be a dick, but I don't think the people that are causing some of our civil unrest are investing in hangover medication.
They may not be. That's why there's unrest.
I really don't see that. So maybe we need to get them to purchase
Alcohol
these.
can also create and enhance depression, right? So you wake up the
course.
next day because it kind of brings you from a high, then the next day
100%.
there's a low. So these medications, there's different kinds. There's obviously ones that could be probably prescribed by a doctor. I think even
No,
the
these-
movie Billions.
No, these are all over the counter.
But then there's
Like,
the
there's
other
so
over-the-counter
many
ones that are
over-the-counter.
more vitamin-based. But then I think a few seasons ago in Billions, a show that we really don't watch, but I remember
Well, I used to watch it, but
used
then I
to
got
watch
sick
it.
of just watching
But-
hedge fund guys
but
keep making money.
Yeah, just making money. But his wife tried to start a business, I think, with her friend, where everyone, for people that were hungover the next day, they were basically just putting, I guess, I don't know, saline solution into them, giving them a
well,
little IV.
That's
and it was
a whole. There's the
clearing them
IV
up.
treatments that people are doing at fancy hotels.
It's just making me think about that. We have friends that have done that. I completely forgot about that.
Pumping, basically
In Atlantic City.
Yes. Like, but they're doing these, but anywhere, like Vegas,
Anywhere.
like any fancy hotels, even in Manhattan, like
You go out, you party till 5.
well, they like even the Biebers, like Hailey Bieber was out with like one of the Kardashians, I think, and she was like, oh, they're getting like the vitamin IV basically to like push away any of the demons from the night before,
eradicate the
yes
the hangover feeling.
But I actually
That's just so you can start drinking and gambling as soon as possible.
No, oh my God, it's just crazy.
That's crazy.
This like hangover business is serious, guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious, like how many of you take a hangover like pill or treatment just so you can party hard all the time?
That's a great question. When was the last time you had a hangover?
I mean, I don't really feel hungover today. I think I just feel a little tired. Like my brain is tired.
There'd be no
It's
reason
different.
because we didn't drink last night, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a hangover.
I have to. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time I had a hangover.
'Cause we have-
I just wake up tired. My allergies normally just bother me, so I feel sometimes like I have a hangover, but it's just
and I
allergy.
just feel
It's an allergic reaction.
we've like cut back
And
a
lack of
lot,
sleep.
like in terms of just because we want to watch our weight and our calorie intake, and we also generally don't drink.
You also
every
need
single day.
time. You also like, if you think about it, if you're drinking to get drunk, it kind of can prohibit other things that you're trying to do
also
or
more like
impede.
social. Like if
Yeah.
we're partying with
Correct.
people, then we'll like obviously have a couple drinks or whatever. But it's not about every day I wake up, I need that mimosa. It's not like that.
Yeah,
like
no.
it's like kind of the opposite.
Well, even the other night when we were socializing, I had a drink in front of me, but I was barely touching it because I was cutting one of our shorts.
That's a different reason.
Yes.
Your consummate procrastination of doing things is
That wasn't
amazing.
It
is
was not procrastination.
impeccable.
It was a busy day with work, and I finally had an opportunity to actually cut a short for the next day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need the content beforehand so I can actually schedule the
Yeah.
posts.
And I gave it to you directly afterwards. So you had it before.
Do you see, guys? Do you see what I'm dealing with, people?
You still had it before the next day.
This is why I do most of our shorts, and I let you do a few.
Okay.
They're all delayed, and
Oh.
they're not even on time.
Always on time. We had a conversation about this in a pod about what is time and how is time
Oh my
utilized.
God. Greg, we are not talking about how time was created for you,
It's
and you control it. That is
well,
not, I am not even
I can't
having
help
that
it. I've
conversation
been gifted
again.
with the powers that be.
Oh my God.
It's like
So let me give you a gift of for those people who maybe I don't know are interested in natural remedies for dealing with a hangover. You know, you just have to go into your regular grocery store and find that prickly pear cactus and ginseng, and you'll be set.
prickly pear and ginseng.
Red ginseng.
Red ginseng.
You know, because we can all find that.
What about some vitamin B?
In the grocery store.
Vitamin B is like energetic. How about some vitamin B? Was that
No.
B12 or I forget which one it is now?
No, this is very specific.
I see.
This is a homeopathic way.
I used
to
to
address
I used to
your
take
hangover.
ginseng pills when I was younger. Yeah.
Oh,
Not for hangover purposes.
just like when you were a personal trainer.
Actually, it was during that during that period
Oh
because I
my
needed
God,
the
we
I
are
needed
not
the
talking
energy.
about the personal training
I used to
again.
take ginseng. Yeah, and vitamin
I
B.
just cannot
because it was good for
imagine
energy.
you-
Because I used to be exhausted all the time, so it was good for a natural way to get energy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, you were bringing up before the Katy Perry drink.
I was.
I think hers is made with adaptogens or whatever.
It is. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and some
I was
like
reading about it
mushroom
recently.
essence.
That's exactly what. Yeah. Exactly.
There's also like other kind of drinks I've been seeing. It's like get a little buzz from drinking these ground up like herbs and mushrooms, and you just mix it with like seltzer and other powders and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked at how quickly this market is also growing.
Yeah, it's growing quite vastly, and if you think about it, it's not.
I actually am really. I would love to try
yeah.
some of these.
I would give it a shot just because it's we tried different things, different types of beverages. Like we tried Toast that one day,
Yes.
which was non-alcoholic.
well, and that one like doesn't
Yeah.
have like a buzzy factor to it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It's
It's just
purely about
purely-
tasting like
Yeah.
a champagne-esque flavor.
'Cause it has like white. Yeah, it has tea. In
But
it
like, I think a part of why we consume the alcohol we do when we do, it's also because there is this little element of easing up our tension, getting a little buzzed, feeling a little bit lighthearted and happy. And if there's like options that won't kill our body parts, but enhance it instead and allow us to have those kind of
experiences.
feelings.
Yeah.
And experiences, I'm definitely like
Well, we
curious
also love
about it.
Yeah, I mean, but we do love margaritas. Margaritas are just a great summer drink, and they go well with Mexican food, which we love. But
how do we like recreate that? That's hard.
Yeah, that would be hard. But you know what? A lot of people.
I saw like a fake margarita out there.
Did
That gives you the buzz of a margarita.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It must be amongst those 3,000 plus products that have launched in a span of a year.
So, but the thing is, one.
So
We'll see what
this doesn't correlate with the hangovers.
No, but the thing is, we're going to see once, I guess, testing, like who knows if what's FDA approved and not FDA approved, right? Because supplements aren't necessarily always FDA approved.
Oh, that's true.
So we'll see what happens with that. And the thing is, those products, if you look at the pricing of those products, they're not really any different than the cost of alcohol.
Expensive.
They're expensive. So there's no cost savings.
But you know, when you get like that brand with like Katy Perry on it, I mean, you know, it's like Katy Perry, you know, has created this and her face is on
Is all over it.
Yes.
And she's like, you know, TGIF. And then Kenny G comes out and starts playing sax. TGIF. Last Friday night. Little menage a trois.
Are you singing again?
I am singing.
We talked about this.
It's because I'm envisioning the menage a trois. That's why.
Oh my
That's from that
gosh.
song. That's a lyric in the song.
am asking
Don't
our
blame me.
viewers for
It's a lyric
little
in the
bit
song.
of forgiveness
Yes.
on that.
But you want what people do? So when they go out and they drink, so people will go out and they'll put back whatever amount of booze that they want to put back, you know, that evening, and then the next day they'll have a hangover, and people will often just instead of getting, say, tequila straight, just Blanco on the rocks, like, ooh, tequila soda, because it'll water it down, and I won't get as drunk. But carbonated water, the body absorbs the alcohol faster because of the bubbles. I guess the scientific theory.
Why is that?
I think that the scientific theory behind it is when carbonation enters into the body, it enters the bloodstream faster because it pushes into the alcohol into your stomach lining faster. So the body absorbs it quicker.
So it's worse?
So you get drunk faster by adding soda. And then they also, I was reading at one point that mixing booze and diet is basically like a toxic remedy that's not good for the body, not good for your liver. It's worse for your liver. And then if you do it...
like a Jack and Diet Coke?
A Jack and Diet Coke. It's better to do a Jack and Coke than a Jack and Diet Coke, because the Jack and Diet Coke is more toxic to the liver. And then a Jack and regular Coke
Because
also...
of the artificial sugars?
It could be the aspartame or whatever that's in there. Because if you think about it, it's chemical and chemical, like two poisons coming together. So it's not like two negatives making a positive. It's, think about it that way. It's not like that. And then also, if you mix it with a regular soda, your body can apparently absorb it less quickly because of, I guess, the sugar content in the soda helps to, I guess, block it. So the way to avoid hangovers, number one, is either just, one, don't drink. Two, do not drink that many. Or do what we do, which is basically have a tequila Blanco rocks. This way there's no caramel, no additives, no nothing, no sugars in there. Although it turns to sugar in your body over time, yes. But just tequila Blanco.
That was the weight trainer in Greg.
The weight trainer on the rocks. And then in between drinks, pound down a glass of water. Hydrate. Regular flat water, we're in New York City, New York City's finest.
Well,
which we love the water
what I
down
used to do when I was socializing in my 20s so that I can actually party and hang with the crowd. Because I was always predominantly a lightweight when I started to consume alcoholic beverages. And so what I started to do was for every drink, I would pound a glass of water in between each drink. And it really changed my ability to, one, hang, not get too trashed. And then three, by the time like we were leaving, it's like kind of like I wasn't leaving completely messed up. Like you see people walking out where they can't walk and stuff.
Yeah, that's just unsafe too.
That's just like not cool.
Yeah. That's not cool. It's just because it's safety purposes.
Right.
And then number two, imagine if you were that shit-faced and you went through that experience that you just recently went through with that guy like following you on the street. You wouldn't even have had the wherewithal to even know
that's scary.
that was even happening. Like you don't want to do anything that's going to diminish your senses.
The Geico caveman escapee.
The Geico caveman. But you want what's crazy about drinking too is take like the college circuit, right? And college kids are known for boozing it up. And my alma mater back in the day was known to be like a top 5 or top 10 party school. I didn't go to the main branch because I was too busy working down here. And you know my story. I didn't have a chance to even drink because I was working and going to school like 247, right? But every once in a while, I used to go up to Storrs, Connecticut to visit friends that were there, and especially during it's like spring break. It wasn't spring break weekend. I forget it was the one of the major weekends before finals, spring weekend they might have just called it. And you'd go up there, and there'd be obviously just parties all over the place. But I think it was Carriage House, which was this one area. It was off the school premise where there were all these like condos where college kids would live. And they used to have what was called Kill a Keg, where everyone would line up on the streets and you'd have a team.
What?
Yeah. And the first team, there'd be like 5-10 people on the team. The first team to kill the keg wins. And if anyone vomited, like booted, during this competition, your team was disqualified. But the only way that you could get back in is if you're disqualified was a boot and rally, where you actually, if you booted, you then had to eat your vomit and you could be back in.
Ew!
It's disgusting.
Ew!
Disgusting. I never
That's so
participated in any of this,
gross.
but it was Kill a Keg. It was a competition back in the day.
Oh my God, that is so disgusting.
It's disgusting. Yeah. Boot and rally.
What is wrong with you people?
Don't say you people. College kids.
What is wrong with you college kids?
But I don't know if they still do that or not. I don't know.
That's just nasty, Greg.
That's beyond. It's disgusting. It's atrocious.
I'm left speechless from the envisioning of this entire experience. And I went to for undergrad to Rutgers, and you would think Rutgers was a party school, but we didn't have this type of disgustingness.
Yeah, I don't know. I went locally because I was working in the city here, so I did not participate really in any college experiences.
I was
of that
also kind of a
nature.
prude in college. I didn't drink anything till like I was pretty much junior, senior. And I was one of the few kids who had permission to have a car on campus because I worked. So I
see.
was always the escort for all of us to the clubs.
So
and the
that doesn't make
parties.
any sense. You were a prude, yet you were an escort. So how do those two? How do those two go together? It's like a
Not
dichotomy
that
there.
kind of escort, Greg.
Oh, well, I didn't know. You weren't defining the type of escort you were. Are there different kinds?
I escorted us to the clubs
Oh, I see.
and the parties.
Oh.
'Cause my car-
You were the DD.
Yeah, I was the designated driver.
I see. How
How dare you?
do you mean, how dare me?
I'm like a pure good girl.
Oh, I'm sure you are not.
I am. What the F?
Yes, you're Aryan race and full of purity.
Oh my God. You're full of malarkey.
I'm not. Your middle name is Malarkey.
Listen, I don't need this energy from you.
What, my positive energy
Your
and gorgeous
bullshit
energy?
energy.
It's not bullshit. What are you talking about?
I feel like the shit from your Connecticut school party like flying at me right now.
What do you? How's it flying? Why is it flying at you? Projectile vomiting? That's kind of gross.
By the way, there's been like for a while there was this kind of, I would say, lull period.
A lull in drinking?
No, a lull period in terms of people wanting to have babies. Especially when you think about like our generation, there's like a weirdness. Like either they had like 5 or they had like none. And I would say like the millennials certainly are that kind of generation where they, I think, wanted to live for themselves and not have it all dictated by a nuclear family kind of structure.
Experience, yeah. The white picket fence, the dog.
Yeah. I think
the
they
two
wanted to travel the
kids.
world and they wanted to,
a little more selfish.
I don't think it's selfish. I just think it's different than us. Like I think if we were given the opportunity, access, maybe we would have made different choices. But
Possible.
But like it's fine, like I think each his own. But what's interesting is suddenly a lot of people are having babies. Like
Yeah, it's coming back. A new baby boom.
it's like become like a thing. Like let me like get pregnant and show you how skinny I can be in my yoga pants through like the whole pregnancy, and then oh my God, like look at this amazing like bedroom I built for my baby, and like all baby stuff and
Yeah.
baby.
And like now, like baby moons
Yes.
and gender reveal
The
parties.
gender reveal party that did not exist
that
when
did
I
not
had a baby
exist.
15 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, I wanted to keep the gender
But
secret.
I'm just wondering, because of the sensitivity of gender in this day and age, will that child then come back and sue their parents because they're not identifying as that gender, and that is what has been posted online?
That's a whole other episode, honey.
Yes. Okay.
I
That's
don't-
another.
I don't know if I even want to
That's another topic.
I don't even know if I want to touch that.
Yeah, that's a 3-hour episode.
Yeah. Well, we might need some like real experts to join us
Yes,
for
to
that
come in
conversation.
and talk about those things.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I just think like so interesting that having a baby, I think, is sort of becoming cool again. It was seen, I think, not like in vogue, but now it is. And to the extent that I feel people our age
Well, there's almost like a
are actually having babies
they're
later.
having people are having babies later. I don't know. Is there like sort of a sensuality around it? Like you have Rihanna taking pictures half naked with her baby, like her
I
belly
love Rihanna.
out. Others
At
that are
some
in
point,
bikinis taking
I'm
pictures.
just curious.
It's
like,
a different world.
Isn't she cold sometimes? And it was like exposed in like the wintry months.
Well, the clothing now for women is much better, like when they're pregnant, versus like the muumuus back in the day.
God,
Like
such uggo muumuus.
Yeah. They just there wasn't designer fashion yet set. But also, if you think about fashion in general, fashion has become more casual, right?
Yes.
Over time, where now
Or
it's
like-
perfectly acceptable
it's like
to wear.
upscale, casual.
Upscale athletic gear. Now
Yeah.
women are wearing athletic gear on a regular basis, like to run errands throughout the day, whether it's Lululemon and other Alu and like all these other brands, and then Athleta, and then you also have men that are wearing Lululemon pants now for business purposes. 'Cause
Yeah.
they've designed more slacky style pants that are comfortable.
Yep.
And then there's more stretch in pants now than there ever has been, whether it's jeans. And other
like one of
forms
our
clothing.
friends, he wears like those really cool, like tailored looking trousers from like Lululemon, I think.
Yeah.
But like they look kind of neat and chic at the same time.
But even designer jeans, like take Page and these other brands. Like back in the day, I grew up wearing Levi's, right? Levi's had zero stretch in them whatsoever, and they were stiff when you bought them. They eventually loosen up to your body.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you buy jeans, and the material itself
I
has
also wear
stretch
Lee jeans.
built
Did
into
you ever
them.
wear Lee?
I think my mom happened to buy me. Parents bought me Lee
My parents bought
once,
me
and I was
Lee
like,
from Sears.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
And I'm like, this is not cool. I need Levi's
I was
because
like,
Levi's
yeah.
was the cooler brand.
Levi's was the cooler brand, and I remember I think my mom bought me like Lee from like Caldor one time.
Yeah, we
and I was
got
like,
it
I'm
from
not wearing
Sears.
these things. I
Yeah.
was like this little snotty kid. I'm not wearing Lee from Caldor. I want my Levi's, and Levi's weren't even that expensive. I remember back in the day, Levi's were like $35 a pair.
You know what? They're a little bit more than Lee's.
Huh?
They were more than Lee's.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted Gap jeans. It was really expensive to get Gap jeans
When
I
Gap
was
came out,
younger.
I think I had a pair of Gap jeans. The
they were
style on
more
them was
money.
different. They were more money, but they contoured differently. They were a little more baggy. I just loved the straight fitted cut of a Levi jean. And they had two kinds. They had like the straight leg and then the boot cut.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then they had like bell bottom. I don't even know if they made bell bottoms or not, but then there's the bell bottom cut. But so those were the different cuts. Oh, another brand that wasn't necessarily popular in this metropolitan area, but was bigger when you moved out a little further west, Wrangler jeans.
God, no.
Yeah,
I
those are like
didn't- I did not.
cowboy jeans when you think of Wranglers.
But I love how I start talking about babies and you randomly go into clothing wear.
Well, because they go hand in hand in this day and age. You know, having a baby is fashionable, and clothing is fashion.
So that's your theory for why people are having babies.
I think that well, I don't know what my theory is,
It
but
has
there
nothing
is.
to do with the fact that as much as like people don't see the value of what's happening in our current economy,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably one of the best kind of.
All I know is Bruno was up. He had a baby because
our
it was
economy
fashionable.
is in like the best state it ever has
Yeah.
been at the moment.
Yes. Our what?
Our economy.
Yes. Our economy.
Like the lowest unemployment
Yeah.
rate, high GDP,
Yeah.
manufacturing's back in the country, not like relying on external outsourcing.
yeah.
So don't all these things play into the affordability of a child?
But the problem is right now is the affordability isn't necessarily there, because there was a whole article that the Times put out recently based upon interviews with Gen Z and millennials that they're moving, even Gen Xers, younger Gen Xers moving back into their parents' homes because they can't afford to live on their own. And so with the economy doing well, everything's much more expensive. The housing market has gone down. Interest rates have gone up. So I think people have less money now, even though the economy's doing well. The general population, I think, has potentially less money now based off of what I'm reading because of the costs that have gone up. So I think it's right now the time to have.
Why have babies?
Because people want babies. Because they want.
Why do you have a baby?
I don't know. Legacy. Love.
No, that's not a reason to have a baby.
Why not? Some people, that's the reason. Pass
legacy?
On. Yeah. Legacy. Legacy is a big piece.
You know what? If you're a Rockefeller or a JP Morgan, I get it. You know, you're a Walden family, whatever. Like, we have no legacy.
What are you talking about? We have legacy. What's that look for? Huh?
I have no comment.
No comment about what? Why aren't you commenting?
We don't have legacy.
I've got legacy.
What are we going to leave them? Debt?
Well, that's what kids are for.
Well, I mean,
they cost money, and so they have to be served debt later on in life. It's good for them.
We certainly. It's funny that we're actually talking about this because it was actually a year ago at this time.
Yes, exactly this time.
We had a very constructive conversation about the idea of having children.
Yes.
At this point.
About a union in our lives that would yield an offspring.
Yeah.
That would
and remember, we
contain both of our genes.
What did we do to make a decision about our ability to have a baby?
We did what every single business person would do when trying to make a calculated decision. We made a T-chart.
Yeah. If anyone knows me personally, it doesn't matter if I'm like trying to organize a dinner party or vacation or a new job or something in the
anything
workplace.
In life. What to have for dinner. Let's T-chart it.
I T-chart everything. It's like the best thing ever.
So what's a T-chart? Does everyone know what a T-chart is? I don't think everyone knows because it's typically explained a little differently. So what is a T-chart?
A T-chart essentially is you take whatever thing you're trying to assess and you list out the pros and cons. And it should be personal to you, to the situation. And it's truly meant to help you then make a decision. It's an informed decision.
It is. Yes.
So we did a pro and con.
We did do pros and cons on this.
Old farts like us.
Yes.
Having another child when we already have a child from each of our marriages.
That is true. Yes.
And a lot of people have like actually brought up like, oh my God, when are you guys going to get married? Oh my gosh, when are you going to have a baby? You both should have a baby. Oh my God, like a half Euro, half Indian baby. Oh my gosh.
The baby would be so gorgeous. It would be so talented.
I mean, or it could turn out to look like, I don't know, Uggo.
Yeah,
Who knows?
You could have two positives that like, bam,
two
equal
dominant,
negative.
One recessive. Right? Those gene issues.
That's when my genes would have to come in and like do some nuclear like reconstruction and make it perfect.
Your genes apparently couldn't properly produce before.
What are you talking about?
Thank God you ended up with one.
Properly produce.
No, you had like gene wars.
It's not me. Come on now. Gene wars?
There were gene wars.
Gene wars. That sounds like the band Gwar. Actually, you ever hear that band Gwar?
No.
They dress up in all these like monster-esque costumes. And so when you said Gene Wars, it's just like, hey, it's Gwar.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still around actually.
Never heard of them, but you always seem to know, have random facts about bands, most the average individual.
All sorts of bands.
Yes. But so we did a T-chart.
We did.
Of which we both contributed to. And I will just say that Greg's input were a lot of bullshit, as usual.
It wasn't bullshit. It was
Gregisms.
No, they weren't Gregisms.
But we allowed them on the chart.
They were reality. It was just reality. When you do a T-chart, you have to lay out all the potential obstacles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So my pros for wanting to explore the idea of having a child together.
Yes. Is this like space exploration? Explore the idea.
This is like so exciting.
Hunting for a new star.
This pro is amazing.
Okay, which one is this
one? But
like
a truly like a hybrid contribution to society.
Oh.
Like who doesn't want like a interracial baby to enter the kind of society and community
Yes.
and add to the mixing pot of the U.S. market.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I was like, yes, hybrid contribution. Do you remember what your contribution was for pros?
For pros, I do not remember my contribution. What was my contribution? I thought that was my contribution.
No, it was legacy.
Oh, okay. Legacy, exactly. See, I already said it. I was trying to figure out why you're asking me something that I already said. Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy is a thing.
And do we have any other pros?
I think that was it. Were those the only two pros that we were able to come up with? A blended child that would be able to contribute to society and have both
call
sets
it
of our
the
genes and
hybrid.
have
It's a
our
hybrid.
or a hybrid. Yeah. Well, it's blending of things that create this hybrid. It's like a science experiment. What will it look like? What color will it be?
But then,
Will it be positive or will it be destructive?
We had a few cons.
I think there was more than a few cons. I think the cons list went on for like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and we had two pros. So that definitely helped us make a decision.
So now you know where our decision landed.
Yes, yeah. It was.
But I will say, like, one of the things that, like, I think burdened my mindset personally in terms of trying to explore this is it costs at minimum $1 million to raise a child in just a very kind of standard middle class upbringing.
Yep, kids are expensive. Right out of the gate too.
It's just insane. And that doesn't even include the impact that would have on travel. And because of our work schedule, like we would need nanny care to help. And how do we manage schedules between 3 kids who are very disparate in ages? And we need a bigger place to live.
Well, so I remember when I first had a child, when I had Avon, family members from other areas of the country were like telling us, oh, just wait till you have to send them to college. And these are people that had already had children that were older that sent their kids to college. And I was thinking about college tuition. And then I was thinking about the costs right out of the gate that we assumed here in NYC. One, because even thinking about preschool wasn't free at the time. You had to pay for preschool. There was no such thing as preschool unless you paid for it, right? And then also trying to go back to work. And these were, some of the people that were mentioning this to me, maybe there was someone that was at home or maybe sent their kid off to daycare. And here in the city, you kind of really almost needed a nanny because the daycare situation we didn't find anything.
Complicated.
So it was complicated. And then all the other costs, I was like, wait a minute, I'm paying more than what college tuition would have been back when these people were paying college tuitions right out of the gate. I used to tell people, you had 18 years to prepare for this. This is like literally right out of the gate of what we were spending. So yeah, kids are, and then buying everything that's needed for your child.
It's very expensive.
It's extremely expensive.
But Greg had like really random additions to this cons list, which I still don't understand.
What do you not understand? Those were perfect cons and really kind of so let's see, what were some of them? Less drugs, less parties.
We don't do drugs.
Yeah, we don't do drugs. Less sluts.
Well, who are these sluts?
I don't know. Like when we have parties, you gotta have sluts at parties.
Okay.
Right? What were some of the other cons?
Less travel.
No
spontaneity.
Oh, that's right. No spontaneity anymore. It really changed the whole scenario.
Less time.
Well,
less sex.
That's true. Potentially less sex.
Sorry, we're really not trying to
So
we're really trying to not totally, push away the notion of having a child.
Yes.
It's just for us at this juncture,
and
we already
taxing.
have kids.
I didn't want to get up.
So.
It's sleeping through the night is not necessarily an easy task anyway. Maybe at our age.
I don't even sleep well anyway.
Yeah, and so just having to get up multiple times during the night every 3
really
hours. But we've already gone through it.
Yeah,
and we're older.
But we do sound selfish.
Yeah, and then the thought process of, okay, wait, if we have a child now, we're going to be sending a child to college in basically for me in our 70s.
What was the best question my GYN asked us?
Which one was that? Do we want to be sending a child to college when you're 70?
How old will you be
in
18 or 19 years?
Oh, yeah. absolutely.
She's like, you're going to be that old when that kid is going to college.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to still have to help it.
Oh, yeah.
So we did the math.
Yeah, we did the math.
We did the T chart.
And in 18 years, I kind of would rather have like a vacation home somewhere.
Yeah, retired.
Retired, doing something.
Retired.
Yeah. Not necessarily having to take care
Maybe
of a child.
Podcasting from
Yeah.
a beach for you guys.
Yes. Maybe if I was like Paul McCartney, or who else was it that has kids now in their
Well,
80s?
no, wait, hold on. I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
You don't see headlines of old women
Mm-hmm.
having children unless they really struggled and tried hard to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Laura Linney she's someone like just 10 years ago, she finally at 49 years old back then had a baby, but she was struggling to have one for a
Sure.
long time. And it's
Yeah.
like pretty miraculous she finally had one. I understand that. But like when you're like 75 years old and up,
Yeah.
and all these male celebrities,
Yep.
they're knocking out babies with these young wives. They're not going to be alive to see them.
Yeah, no, they're not. No.
Like
Al Pacino,
Al
right? Was he
Pacino
one?
just had one.
Yeah.
And then isn't Robert De Niro known for
I
having?
think Robert De Niro
Richard
had one
Gere.
later. Richard Gere had one?
Yes, at an
Interesting.
old age.
Huh.
And I guess like the moral of the story is if you're a billionaire or gazillionaire,
Yes.
you can afford to have children at an old age because one, you can leave them money. Two, you'll have like accessible care. All
That's the
these
big
things.
piece right there. Is the
But are
is
you
the
really going to
care.
be a parent? Like that was the
Probably
other
not,
thing.
no.
Like we actually like to parent. We actually like to spend time with our kids. And if we had one now, like there's just so much busyness with work and
Yep.
our like UGC life and other things that we're doing that it would be like I don't want someone else taking care of the child.
But if you think about it, some of the people you mentioned potentially even having children at a younger age weren't around as often anyway. Like take a musician, right, who might have been on tour the entire time their child was growing up, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily new to them by having a child and not necessarily being there. Also, you may not hear of older women. I'm just putting this out there, potentially not having children at an older age just because of menopause could be one. Maybe they didn't actually freeze their eggs, or if they did, maybe it could be a surrogate
Right.
that they utilize as well. So maybe that's also part of the reason.
or women are just smart and they don't want to deal with the pain of going through the pregnancy
I
because it's
didn't
the
wanna
woman
say
who
that.
carries the child.
So there's that piece too. I didn't. Being a man, I didn't want to say that because I that is not something that a man has to worry about.
Yeah.
And something more personal to a woman, but that could be. Imagine being in your 60s carrying a baby. That would probably be extremely
No.
uncomfortable.
Sorry, to you women who want to do that, go you. Hell no.
It could also be. I'm not a doctor, but it could. I wonder if it's more dangerous too.
Of course, it's more dangerous.
So
It can't be like you don't have the same uterus
yeah, as you
as
once
when
did.
you were 25
Yeah.
when you were 65.
Why did they get swapped out? Is it like a
No.
cassette deck?
Yeah.
You just swap them out when they're old and they don't work anymore, and you put a
Unless
brand
you have
new one in.
reconstructive uterus surgery.
Oh, is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Really?
Yeah, you can also get your vagina reconstructively.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
I'm serious. There's lifts for everything.
Women could get new vaginas.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
You're like,
So when a woman's 70, it's like, hey, bam, put in a brand new one, and the dude's like, now you're getting pregnant.
well, I didn't say like the fallopian tube and everything else works, but the ovaries have to be functioning.
Yeah, well, they have to be functioning. Yeah.
Yes.
Have to be some functioning eggs in there. Yes. But I didn't realize well, I guess with cosmetic surgery, you can pretty much do anything. But I didn't realize, are women doing this? Is this a thing that women are doing?
It's not a common thing. It's a thing though.
I see.
And I might be making it up, but I don't know.
Oh, now who's the one that's full of shit? I might be making it up. It's one breath. It's a common thing. I might be making it up.
I mean, when I'm creative, I can get creative.
I guess so. Really? So what are you creating next? Where's your creative mind taking us to?
Well, we're definitely gonna have Mexican later.
Yeah, that we discussed. Yeah, that's on the
That's
on
like
the itinerary for
that
this
is
evening.
a requirement.
Yeah, for some good Mexican, because we didn't have very good Mexican last time.
Mexican's been bad lately.
Yeah, we've.
And why is Mexican food so overpriced, guys?
It's always overpriced. Maybe is it because it all has to be good Mexican has to be fresh, right? And
Of
freshly
course.
made. So that could be a reason because it's fresh produce. It's
Yeah.
not. You can't really freeze it. What can you really freeze?
Price of produce has gone up.
Price of produce has gone up. Yeah, I was just reading a little meme one day, and it was someone talking about that they felt that they got stronger all of a sudden because they've never been able to carry home $200 worth of groceries, and now it's easily done. But everything, even the Starbucks. So we rarely order. Actually, not even order. We rarely get Starbucks coffee.
We do not do $5 drinks
yeah,
every
we
day.
don't. No, five. What $5?
I used to call it $5.
We ordered
For a
two
tall.
coffees today. We went to Starbucks and picked them up. 2 coffees was $18. $18.
Crazy.
Think we wouldn't have bought it, but we were gifted like a little Starbucks gift card. So, but that's egregious.
But it was so good.
It was good. It was
My
quite
caramel
good.
macchiato made me happy.
Oh, isn't that nice? Where did I get the my
my
oat
treat.
milk
It's my
espresso
treat.
shaken drink?
You had your
that I
brown
like?
sugar oat
Yeah.
shaken.
And I'm not one that puts sugar in any of my coffee because I don't like it. So I only have them put like a couple pumps in there. It just mellows it out a little
All
bit.
right, weight trainer.
Okay, that's right.
All right. Put those hairy underarms away.
Hairy. My arms aren't hairy. My underarms, I keep them trimmed. I groom.
Yeah, thank God you manscape.
But you know me. I'm the type of person that unfortunately like my body runs hot. So I'm always
You do run hot.
I do run hot.
Greg, not only do you run hot, but apparently you're going to have to deal with me running hot.
Well, yours hot.
No, not like that, honey. That's very sweet.
Oh,
But I'm at that age where it's perimenopausal.
like a periwinkle.
No, do you know what perimenopausal is?
Like you listen to Steve Perry songs and dream about menopause.
No. So there's this new thing that I've been reading about. And actually there was also like a report that came out in like Harvard Business Review, as well as like New York Times and all these different places, that the idea of like what women go through when they hit menopause and how it impacts us at a very young age, actually, not realizing it.
Yeah.
But it impacts us in our personal and professional lives.
Just like I was saying, Steve Perry, original vocalist from Journey. Here I am, open arms.
Oh, I know what song you're singing. And did your hands just block my entire camera?
It might have. I don't know.
Gregory.
Kirti.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
So-
just blocked the camera on me, guys.
Actually, I don't know if Steve Perry was the original vocalist of Journey. I'm trying to remember now. He was the big one.
Oh, wait. When you sang that, I was like trying to think. Mm-hmm. Whenever
I'm
you
trying to remember if there was someone before him. I don't remember now.
Here I am with open arms.
Yeah, perimenopausal.
Okay, that's how the song
That's-
goes.
yeah.
Not whatever you sang.
I can't help it that I sing quite well and like I bang things out like that. It's fine details. Who cares about the fine details? It's like we're talking broad strokes of strategy here. We talked about this like before. It's like you got to let the minions do what they do best, which is hammering out the details.
Well, so here's the thing. Perimenopausal. I think this is like a news alert for men out there. I think you guys need to be cognizant of what we go through. Because some of what we go through
yes.
is like we also get the hot flashes, as you know.
Oh,
but
nice,
apparently
nice.
these hot flashes last forever and ever. So you know how you like turn into a sweatbat in bed sometimes? Like
Oh.
if we both start doing that in bed, we're gonna need to like get a different type of
They
bed.
shouldn't call it perimenopausal. They should just call you like at this moment in time geriatric.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
I can't even argue with that.
It's like, yeah, Perry, Jerry.
I mean, but
Yeah.
like it's really kind of crazy how this affects us because it also affects. I think this is actually a really important topic.
Okay.
I'm not joking about it.
I know, I'm not either.
I mean, you are, but I'm not.
How am I joking?
You're making fun of it.
I'm not making fun of anything. I'm just calling to reality.
I'm
the
gonna make fun of
issues.
your LTLs then.
What are LTLs?
Low testosterone levels.
Whoa.
And that's what men suffer from.
I don't suffer
And
from
their
low testosterone
libido
level.
goes down, and
My
it's like a man
oh.
period. Did you know that men have man periods?
What's a man period?
A man having a period.
What, we bleed out our butt?
No, you have low testosterone level.
I don't have low testosterone. I don't take anything to increase my
No, it
testosterone
happens
level.
naturally.
Well, to some men, maybe.
So this is a news alert for my female friends out there. When your man is suddenly like not like digging you for like a day or two, and he seems a little bit blue, and he's like moody, he probably has LTL.
LTL.
It's a true thing.
I've
People can Google this.
LTL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking like triglycerides or something like like LDL, like cholesterol.
No, honey, it's low
I
testosterone
don't
levels.
know. I think you're making this up.
I
I know it exists for men, which is why they have the little blue pill and things like of that nature.
No, the little blue pill is just for schlongs that don't have any pickup.
But wouldn't that be from LTL?
I mean, that's just like no, that's like no testosterone level.
Oh, I see.
That's NTL.
NTL.
Yeah.
NTL, LTL.
But
What are all these
LTL
acronyms?
affects, like your moods.
You totally sound like you're from the financial services industry where everything's an acronym.
I am.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense then.
And you are too.
I know. So
So what the hell?
it's full of acronyms. It's like, what did that person say?
Oh my goodness. No, but really, this
Yes.
idea of perimenopausal is important because we can't ever talk about it in the workplace.
Yes.
We can't say, I'm feeling actual anxiety and anger and mood swings. And it's got a lot of mood swings embedded in the experience of going through it before you even hit menopause. So it's like very much about like
I see.
hormone imbalances, lack of good sleep. It could be erratic periods that like, and you know, when I have inconsistent period schedule,
Yes.
it's very like debilitating,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
it's hard because you can't plan.
You can't plan. You're like, I want
All of a
to
sudden
wear
your
that
hormones
outfit.
are all over the place.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
wear that outfit, but I look like a pear
Feeling
today.
bloated. Yeah,
I look
yeah.
like a pear instead
Oh,
of
a
an
pear.
hourglass.
Oh.
Like,
I see. A pear. That's interesting. Okay.
I mean, look, there are a lot of different shapes women have.
I like the way you brought in a women can't talk about this in the workforce. So are you basically saying that women who are perimenopausal should be allowed to walk into a conference room full of people and be like this? I'm perimenopausal, therefore I can act this way to every single one of you. Is that what you're saying?
No, and we don't act like that.
Well, I don't.
I might be a bitch.
Maybe
might be more bitchy.
Maybe you
Well, by
need to
the way,
have
just-
self-reflection. I think you
know
should
what?
carry around mirrors at all
maybe
times.
because even when I'm just a little bit bossy, like a male would be, I'm automatically a bitch.
Bossy.
But now I'll be extra bitchy.
There's a difference between being bossy and being an utter bitch. Those are two distinct personality traits.
Gregory.
Do not commingle those by any means. I like when women, they always have this like excuse. Oh, when I'm being assertive and bossy, I'm just a bitch because I'm a woman.
No, that is true.
But then when guys
You
do
know
it, what are
that
guys called? When guys do it, we're called dicks.
No, you guys are just like boss still.
Oh.
It's like acceptable when you guys are
Can't help it.
assholes.
They should just call us the Don. Yeah, because we're Dons. That's what it really should be.
What?
Yeah. He's being a Don.
Speaking of Don,
Like a mob Don.
we should watch a Bollywood movie, Don.
Oh.
Because you're like doing a Shah Rukh catch up.
Oh, yeah. We're catching up on the Shah Rukh.
We gotta
clips.
get when Kieran comes back from all her busyness.
Yes.
We'll because she's
Yeah.
got us watching all the Shah Rukhs.
She does. Yeah, yeah. It's funny how both kids really, they love the dancing and they love, the movies.
Yeah. Well, no, I think yours used to. I think ebbs and flows in her interest level.
Yeah, that's because she's not like the biggest movie fan. And Bollywood movies are like 3 hours
She doesn't
in length.
like any movies.
Yeah, she's not really a huge movie
It doesn't matter if
person.
it's English speaking or not.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Although she's like learning like Kannada terms and like asking.
Yeah, she's picking
and
up
using it.
the language, and utilizing it.
Yep.
But Bollywood movies are long though. It's hard to
excuse me.
sit down and watch a full
So
Bollywood
are Ridley
movie
Scott
in once.
movies, and so are
No, Ridley Scott movie might be
Quentin
like 2 hours.
Tarantino movies. And
Yeah, but that's why
so
Quentin
are
Tarantino
Alfred Hitchcock
sometimes will do
movies.
them in.
I'm gonna keep going on and
No,
on
those are
and
two-
on and on. They're
those are-
all. And I'm
those
sorry.
are 2-hour
Mission
movies.
Impossible did not
2-hour
need to be
movies.
3 hours the other day.
There's no reason why Mission Impossible needs to be 3 hours.
Nor the second Top Gun. Like
You know
Maverick
what?
was
Quentin
3
Tarantino
hours.
flicks, that's why he breaks them up into pieces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I thought so. But that's still, a Bollywood movie pretty much sits at the 3 hour mark, three hour plus
they're
mark.
2.5 to 3.
No, they're like 3.
No, they're not all 3.
Yes, but a good chunk of them are 3 hours.
I don't agree with you.
But then a lot of movies that are 3 hours long, they're just too long.
You're
anyway.
gonna be punished. I'm gonna make you watch an Indian movie tonight.
Oh, is that punishment? Are you going to be like dancing for me?
No, because we both
Go
get
through one.
lazy. We get lazy
You know
about
what?
reading the English subtitles.
You know what? Go through a linga on right now and start dancing for me, will you?
Oh.
Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, back to this very important topic of perimenopausal.
Yes.
So you need to empathize with my outbursts is where I'm going with this.
Oh, I see. How do we know if it's a perimenopausal outburst or just a outburst? How do as a man, how do we understand the difference? This way we know when to yell at you and have a rebuttal and maybe back off.
Well, it'll come
Please explain.
associated with random food hunger cravings. It'll also have associated with it this pear-shapedness that I started to assess as an attribute. Yes,
Okay.
yes. The body goes from like a very sexy hourglass to suddenly just there's a lot happening down
A
here.
lot happening.
And then there's
Okay.
like it's also stricken with really bad headaches. Very bad headaches.
Oh,
And lack of sleep.
I see.
So you need to keep a log of
Yes.
all of my behaviors
Okay.
and tendencies.
And we'll try to essentially spot at what times during the month this will happen. And then those will be the times I'm with the girlfriends.
What? Shut up.
And then I come back once you're all healed from those experiences.
You're such an ass.
It's like The Exorcist. It's like you don't hang out in the exorcist room.
What?
No. You got to like go in there, do your like little blessing thing. Then you got to leave. Then you got to come back, do it again. And then like
You and your hands. Keep those hands behind your mic. Behind the mic.
they're behind the mic.
Know your space.
I'm in a tremendous space right now. I can't help it that I tend to be verbose with physicality of hand. It's like an Italian. Like, yo, I'm like a Don. See, I'm a Don. Hey, you do that thing? You take care of that thing for me? Huh? Got that thing? Where's the envelope? I told you, take care of that thing. And bring back the envelope. Yeah, that's right.
Are you done
Done doing what?
being you?
Why would I ever stop being me?
Gregisms.
Gregisms. Okay, geriatricsisms.
Don't make fun of perimenopausal.
I'm not making fun of Perry anything.
I will have an entire group of women come after you.
Oh, really? We might like that. We're having a party. If you'd all like to come, as many of you would like to come, you have to. We'll probably have to like screen some out just for certain reasons. And so you're gonna bring. So when is this gonna happen? When are you gonna get this whole collection of? We're gonna dub this whole collection of women that Kirti is putting together as Gregory's harem.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
You already have that.
It's going to be like an opium den and like, women all
You have
around
quite
dancing.
the imagination. Quite the imagination, Greg.
I'm a creative being.
I see that.
That's how I roll.
see that.
Life is all about being creative and exciting and looking to the bright side versus thinking negatively.
Well, that's why. And just going back to like one of our other episodes where we talked about managing expectations, I am managing your expectations in terms of what I may be going into in my next phase as a woman so that you can like deal with my outbursts.
What we might need to do is just, we should speak with your family and see what prescription drugs that we can get you during these phases.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that hangover.
We can get you
Maybe the
on,
same things in the hangover.
We'll get you on a
pills
battery of drugs.
I don't even take anything
I know.
on a daily basis.
But I'm saying for when this is what I'm saying. For when this starts to happen, we can get you a battery of drugs. This way, you're even keeled. And like during this phase, you're not this explosive, boisterous, exorcistic, menopausal sort of thing. It's during this phase, you just become a Stepford wife.
Oh my goodness.
Gregory, whatever you like. I'm here to cook, clean, take care of the house, and I will massage your feet and other parts of your body when I'm done.
You are terrible.
Did I start your shirts enough? I can go back and do them again if you're not happy with the way that I did them the first time. That's what's going to happen.
That is not going to happen.
Well, at least one thing I will say is based upon what we were watching last night at that horrible movie is that a periatric menopausal woman is probably better than that iBabe.
The what?
The iBabe. Remember?
What's the iBabe?
It was so in the movie last night during one of the skits, they sold these lifelike women that were MP3 players. And
Oh, the iBabe.
the iBabe. And then what they did is it's a naked woman that's a life-size, anatomically correct naked woman that's a MP3 player. But what they did is because it overheats, they decided to put the fan in place of the vagina. But the problem is men were having sexual relations with this iBabe, and their penises and fingers were getting cut off because of the fan.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
Did
that's
I
what's
fall
happening.
asleep during this
You
scene?
might have been falling asleep during this. It was pretty ridiculous. We turned it off pretty much right after that.
Oh
because
my
it was
goodness.
ridiculousness.
That is insanity. And that sounds idiotic.
Yes, it's beyond idiotic. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that idiotic input, honey.
You're quite welcome.
You're so helpful in sharing these type of amazing stories.
You know, I'm sharing stories that I've collected from over
Because you're
a
like
lifetime
100
of
years old.
brilliance. Well, are we talking about my soul? Or are we talking about my time on Earth at this moment in time?
I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
I'm not even quite sure because you're full of malarkey all the time.
No, that would be you, and I already
Yeah.
stated that. So fact is owned by the person who.
Have you come down
stated
off
it.
that trip yet, by the way? Is that why you're all like, ooh, aloof and all that stuff right now?
I'm aloof.
You're always aloof.
I don't think that's. A
You
way
just
to
make
describe
things
me.
up and...
I don't think anyone would ever describe me like that.
We may have to take a poll on that.
Just because you won a keyword game recently does not give you like the clout to sit there and call names
What do you mean?
of other
Because I
people.
win on a regular basis. I was offering lessons
you've
to
only
everyone.
won two.
Interesting. I was
I'm keeping
offering
score.
I was offering lessons yesterday. I even offered to give everyone the friends and family rate.
Uh,
I was charging $2,000 for a 15-minute learning session on how to play keyboard. Friends and family rate. Could have been $6,000, but I give you guys the friends and family rate. Maybe if you guys took advantage of it, one of you would have won today. But you didn't. So I won by a long shot. A long shot. I was almost embarrassed by those numbers that came in today from
They were really
everyone.
bad.
Yeah.
I was really embarrassed for the Indian rice.
Yeah. Believe me.
Like me and my sisters were a little.
You guys, it's like,
Like, what happened to Indian people being smart?
that's been long gone.
I mean, I think we're turning American.
Oh, really? Uh-oh. Remember that song back in the, I forget the name of the band now, but I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. That was a big 80s song.
That is a very, today, unfortunately, I think it's not a socially acceptable song.
It's cultural appropriation of sorts. I forget what the other words were in the song,
Well, we can't
but that was
say anything anymore without it being cultural
Yeah.
appropriation.
Who was it that I was just reading about? I think just this morning. I think it's Jennifer Aniston that is trying to remove the whole. She's trying to cancel culture, this whole movement. But then when we speak with friends and even comedians recently, they're saying cancel culture is just not even a thing anymore. It sounds like people are just over it. It's just noise.
Can we just be?
Yeah.
And can we stop like
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Let it be.
Yes.
Let it be.
Yes.
Let it be. That song apparently came to him in his dreams. Apparently, I think it was after his mom died. Apparently, I think she came to him in his dream, and then he woke up and wrote "Let It Be."
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, story behind that one. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful, right?
So let it be.
Let it be. Just let it be. Yeah.